Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Below the Line podcast presented by Wicked Minis. You can use code BTYL10. Again, that's code BTYL10 to get 10% off your order of Wicked Mix and Wicked Minis when you call them and order via the phone. You can go to moonlightmixes.com to check out, see what you want to order, and then call 501 374 2244. Again, 501 374 2244. Tell them about the Below the Line podcast and code BTYL10 and receive 10% off your order. Better hurry up, do it. You only got 16 more days. The offer expires on January 31st. Our guest today is Willie Allen, the president of Rackley W.A.R. If you've ever wondered where the war in Rackley W.A.R. comes from, it's not just something that sparks fear by saying the word war in your team name. I'd be terrified if I had to go up against a team with war in their name. But Willie Allen Racing is what that stands for. And we got the man himself, the man behind the acronym Willie Allen, in the BTYL studio with us today. Sir, how are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me on, man.
Absolutely. Always good to talk to those in the industry. So how did you get involved with this team? How did you get your start in racing before you became the president of Rackley W.A.R?
Man, it goes back a long time. Started racing go-karts in high school. My wife, which was my girlfriend back then, her dad owned a go-kart racing shop in Centerville, Tennessee, and I'd always wanted to race and really didn't know how to do it, and actually started dating her and realized he had a go-kart shop there. Casey Atwood drove some for him. He built his motors and stuff. So started working after school to earn some money to build a go-kart, and went and raced that. And then my cousins, they raced at the fairgrounds in trucks. And then my father-in-law, Keith, he did a little bit too. So just kind of got involved with them and the Butcheries and just kind of started there. That's kind of how I got my start in Nashville. That's a shortened version. And then kind of how I got in contact with or connected. Because I run in the truck series in 07, and then started doing that and started building shocks. And so while I was up there racing trucks, and then 08, and that started W.A.R. Shocks. And then building a lot of shocks throughout the U.S. And started working on suspension, along with us racing as well. And I was kind of doing some side crew chiefing jobs and engineering stuff for different teams around the country and working with kids, and kind of started working with a few of those and helping their driving. I feel like I've really did a lot of data acquisition and telemetry work. So I feel like I can help kids dial in their, driving, their throttle trace and brake trace and steering and stuff, and really help accelerate their learning curve there. So that kind of morphed into us. Somebody wanted me to put their kid in one of our cars because we had some cars here, and that kind of took off. Had success there, and met Curtis Sutton with Rackley Roofing at the track a few years ago. We had the W.A.R. racing development side. We were running a lot of cars, and one of the drivers, Brittany Zamora, was bringing on Rackley Roofing to sponsor her in the All-American 400 racing our Super there. And met Curtis there and just got to talking, and he, we're talking about the truck series kind of being the next step for our, our late model drivers and this and that, moving up and kind of having the whole, deal. So that the drivers had somewhere to go next after the late model stuff. And it always been a dream of mine to own a truck team and continue the progression, through racing. So we formed that, and really the rest is history. We've been partners and growing this thing ever since. Definitely a dream partnership. I feel like both of us try to do everything we can to win and not just be out there riding around, and continue to grow. And 2024 is, I feel like, continues the journey for us. Definitely one of the most excited years so far that I've been coming into the start of the season. Just got so many great things that's happening here, and looking forward to getting to the track this week at Cordell, actually.
Well, you say the rest is history, and one of the big moments in this short but growing team history of yours was y'all's first win at Talladega in the fall of 2022 with Matt Benedetto behind the wheel. What were your emotions that day? It's always cool when you can have success as a driver, and I've heard a few team owners say it, especially Brad Keselowski. He says it's always cool to win as a driver. When you win as an owner, knowing that you put so much time and money investment into that team, how cool was it for you to finally see your team in victory lane that day with Matt DiBenedetto and finally get that first checkered flag. And also, you made the playoff the next year, so you guys had two big accomplishments, two firsts in the team history in just 2 seasons. How special was both of those moments?
Oh man, it was unreal. Like, it was definitely a dream come true. There's a lot of people that get into the truck series or NASCAR, I feel like that don't ever win, and to be able to do that is definitely special and definitely not taken lightly. We put a lot of hard work and effort into it, and for it to come through, definitely was an exciting day and special day. With everything that had been built over the years and so much sacrifice through myself, Curtis, and everyone here on the team. Everyone sacrificed so much in racing. As we all know, it's a traveling circus. Really, I mean, everyone works all the time and just puts their heart and soul into it to being the best you can. Because I mean, a lot of the teams, most teams out there have great equipment. It's just comes down to the people and how you train and put everyone in place.
Execution is key, and you guys did that to a T at Talladega, and then you guys made the playoffs, showing that you could do it not just over one afternoon, but over a whole season. Making the playoffs is so difficult, and you said that you're really excited for 2024, and I think it's safe to say a big part of that is the driver that you guys have behind the wheel of the 25 Silverado this year. Ty Dillon, not only a veteran presence, but somebody that's won in the Xfinity Series. He was very close to a title in both the truck and Xfinity Series. Tons of Cup experience. How excited are you to have Ty Dillon on, not only because he's talented, but because he does have so much experience, especially at the highest levels of the sport?
Oh, super excited. I mean, the whole thing is it came about really quick. We got a call from Team Dillon management and told us about the opportunity, and he's just so fired up. I definitely can see the excitement in his eyes and his passion. He's really ready to amped up to get going. He's putting a lot of effort in and ready to hit the ground running. I think the truck series is going to be a good fit for him. As aggressive and his experience just racing hard, I think is going to be awesome. And then the help and support from RCR is going to be big for us. We're definitely stepping up our engineering staff in house, and then combining it with their team of engineers, and all the simulation stuff is just really exciting. And I think that's going to continue to move us up in our organization and continue to grow that. I feel like we're on an upswing and trending upwards since we started this deal, and I think this is definitely going to continue that that trend.
I think you're absolutely right. Bringing in a guy like Ty, who has experience not only in the Cup Series, but he has experience in big moments in the Xfinity and Truck Series. He has experience in championship battles, late race scenarios, and I think you're absolutely right about his aggressiveness. That's going to be a key factor in a Truck Series that's getting ever more aggressive every single week. And you spoke a little bit about 2024, and 2022 you guys won a race. 2023 you made the playoffs. What are the expectations for the team in 2024? It seemed like the logical answer going up there would be winning a race and making the playoffs, chasing that championship. You certainly have the team, the personnel, the driver to do it. Do you think you can take that next step in not only making the playoffs, but being a serious championship threat, and maybe collecting not just one, but a few checkered flags in 2024?
For sure. I think we can 100%. We just got to execute and, continue to keep working hard. I mean, the guys on the team they are just on fire right now, trying to do everything they can to make the most of this opportunity and not leaving anything on the table. I'm really excited about the effort that everyone is putting forth, here at Rackley W.A.R. There, with Shane Wilson coming on board and his knowledge and expertise, and just knowing the channels and the processes is just, really cool to have that experience. I think it's been a great fit so far, and just excited to continue to see what he brings to the table. His thought process is really cool, and it definitely the relationship that he's had, in the past with RCR, and just knows the channels and the processes over there and Stockman being over there. Danny Stockman's already been a big help. And of course his expertise and knowledge of the truck series is huge, and not really second to any. I mean, he's a beast, man. Excited to have, everyone that we have on on board, and just makes it really special.
Yeah, it's looking to be a great season. And I love that you mentioned Shane Wilson, who's an experienced crew chief. Every cold trickle needs that hairy hog. Every driver, whether they be young or old, needs that steady hand beside him to kind of guide them through the ranks. My last question for you, sir, is you look towards you have this year, and that's the near future. But you look at what you have waiting in the wings, and you got to be pretty excited too. You have Dawson Sutton, who we talked to on the show last year, who's looking really promising, kind of an heir to the throne of this team, if you will. But how excited are you, and maybe what are your expectations when you look not just for 2024 or 2025, but 5, 10, 15 years down the line? Where do you see that this team could be?
I mean, definitely really excited about, the Rackley W.A.R development side, the late model side. We're racing this weekend with Dawson, Gavin, Boschell, and Ross Chastain's running our late model there. So just the guys in the eyes that we're attracting over here at Rackley W.A.R is really cool to see how much we've grown and getting, the top notch drivers and personnel. But Dawson, Sutton, Gavin, I mean, they're just amazing how much talent is there with these kids. They're working their butts off, week in and week out. It's just, I racing all the time, working out all the time. It's just so much has changed, in the last 10 years as far as driver development. These kids are just working their butts off and doing every single thing they can to be the best they can, and then working with Chevrolet, Lauren Rainier. He's one of the best talent scouts there is in the world, I feel like, especially in the NASCAR world, of finding that next kid that's got so much talent. We've ran Connor Zillage through here. Hopefully he might run a race or two, and then Luke Finhoffs, and just, definitely got a really cool season, coming on that side. It's just as exciting as the truck series. So I love late model racing and what all that brings, and just the future of the whole program, the organization.
Yeah, everybody focuses on the truck series because it's the big national spotlight limelight series, but you can't forget those kids in the late models. They absolutely have a ton of talent. I think they are not just the future of your team, but this whole sport in general. NASCAR wouldn't be what it is without those local grassroots short track racing, late model racing. It's fun to watch by itself, and then you realize some of these really talented kids could be the future of stock car racing, and that gets you even more excited. So thank you so much for joining the show. It's looking to be a great 2024 for you guys, not just on the truck series side, but on the late model side as well. Can't wait to see what you and Ty Dillon, that whole group, do at Rackley W.A.R. Y'all's first race just over a month away, February 16th at Daytona on FS1 MRN. Going to be really fun to see you guys there. So thank you so much for joining the show, and we wish you and the whole Rackley W.A.R team the best of luck for 2024 and beyond.
You bet. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.